I'm Lizzie O'Leary in Grand Isle, Louisiana. Welcome to this Bloomberg special report, BP's big problem. It's been 42 days since the start of what could be the worst environmental disaster in U.S. history. In those 42 days, up to 40 million gallons of oil have gushed into the Gulf of Mexico, far more than the Exxon Valdez spill. And it could be weeks or even months until the leak is contained. We learned this weekend that BP's latest idea, shooting a mixture of mud and rubber scrap toward the well, was a failure.
Over the last 3 days, we've pumped a total of over 30,000 barrels of mud. We've made numerous attempts to overcome the flow. We've monitored the situation after each attempt. We've also used our junk shot technique and other materials to try to divert more of the flow down the well, but we have not been able to stop the flow.
The cost to BP could be staggering. As of Friday, the company estimated it spent nearly $1 billion so far to contain and clean up the spill. Barclays capital analysts estimate that the entire price tag for BP could easily exceed $9 billion. Shares in the company are down 25% since the blast, and investors are punishing Transocean, too. It owned the Deepwater Horizon and is the biggest offshore drilling contractor in the world. Its stock is down 38%. Still incalculable, the cost to the Gulf's fishing and tourism industries and its way of life. To understand the scope of the spill, the costs involved, and BP's problem, you've got to see it from the air. All right, we're flying out on this plane to get a sense of what the coastline looks like, the oil coming in, then we're going to go directly over the site of the explosion. The Coast Guard sends about 60 different aircraft a day over the spill. Helicopters and planes to map the oil, drop dispersants, and track it creeping into the wetlands.
We're going to be flying out down past the tip of Louisiana and directly out to this site. This site is approximately 50 miles offshore.
It doesn't take long past land to spot it.
There's a little bit here of a line we're overflying right now. That's oil.
Oh yeah, right there.
You'll be able to see it. You know, your best bet if you go into the bubble window, you can see it.
Roger, thank you, sir. Yeah, we have them looking out.
It has a distinctive telltale palette. Orange oil, that's been in the water a while and broken up by dispersants. Rainbow oil, that's spreading out a bit. Metallic oil, sometimes that's oil under the surface. And dark oil, that's fresh. The spotters still see that dark, fresh oil. And what makes this spill so different and so hard to contain and so expensive is that it starts from so deep and the oil gets pushed around by currents under the Gulf.
This is much different than, say, a tanker spill where you'll have the product pooled at the surface around one central point. This is broken up, you know, because of coming up through so much of the water column.
About 10 miles from the rig site, there's simply oil everywhere. You can also smell it. The stench, which starts about 20 miles from the site, is dizzying as you approach the rig. We're right out over the site of some of the worst part of the spill near the rig. You can see oil of different colors in the water. Darker oil, the oranger stuff is broken up by dispersants. You can't see the unbelievable smell which comes up off the water, even up into the plane where we are. Down at the rig site, BP says it has already begun drilling relief wells, but those could take till August to be completed. Whatever the success of BP's next attempt at short-term containment, the Gulf will be holding its collective breath with one eye on the ocean until then. The public face of BP in this disaster has been CEO Tony Hayward. He joined the company back in 1982 as a rig geologist. In his nearly 3 decades with the company, BP's image has been tarnished with serious safety concerns. An explosion and fire at the company's Texas City refinery in 2005 killed 15 people and injured 180. BP was fined more than $20 million. At the time, the largest penalty ever issued by the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, or OSHA. Hayward took over as BP's CEO in 2007. He has said that he is passionate about safety. But since then, the company's record has continued to be marred by violations. And this latest disaster has drawn accusations that BP may have cut corners when it came to safety. Hayward has betrayed a bit of a tin ear to public perception over the past 5 weeks. Critics seized on an interview he gave in which he said, quote, "The Gulf of Mexico is a very big ocean."